And this is what I'm talking about. Got one on. Boom, just a little fish. Just a just a small pickerel. Listen, I'm out here to catch fish. You know, I just love catching fish. You know, I of course I love huge fish. This is a little tiny guy, but on my way to some of those deeper spots that I'm gonna target, I figured I'd throw around some smaller lures, and it paid off. Even the small ones are beautiful. Oh man, let's let him go. Oh, there it goes. Hey, monkeys off the back, let's catch another one. I am Will Mack. This is Willpower Fishing. It is 93 degrees outside in the smack dab middle of the day. Worst time to go fishing. That being said, I'm hitting this little river where I have had 10 fish days in July, which is saying something. I just want to catch some fish. So, well, I'm gonna try some bigger baits. I'm gonna try some smaller baits. We're gonna see what's working today. So, let's get out there and find some fish. Ha! Bah! Now, I do like to hit the bank just a little bit before I drop the kayak out. I've got a Finesse jig here. I believe this is 3/16, just shy of a quarter, and it's got a smaller hook, but it's just also finesse enough that these bass lurking in the shallows may wanna hammer it. So, like I said, we're just gonna drop him out there and see if there isn't anything in these shallows right here. Oh, someone's just messing with my jig. Now, as warm as it is today, I'm gonna target deeper water to find those bigger predatory fish. That being said, I'm kind of let the current drift me down this river, and I'm just gonna be throwing this little Mr. Twister Tail, curly tail grub to see if I can't maybe capitalize on a few of these maybe smaller fish and maybe bigger fish that might be lurking. You won't believe what I found right here. Just floating in the water, somebody snagged it. Check this out. This is Guggen Squad's response to the whopper plopper. The plopper part, or the propeller part, is actually in the middle of the lure. We're talking about I think this is a $15 topwater lure that I just found snagged out here in the middle of the river. So listen, if I don't catch a fish today, it was worth coming out. Bang. Oh yeah. This one's putting up a little bit of a fight. Ooh. Oh man, not bad. Not bad, little river fish. Boom. Landed him. Hey, this is it, man. This is it right here. This little twisty tail, it really doesn't get any more simple than that. Don't overthink it. Sometimes you just throw out the simplest lure and it produces. I mean, right here, this is probably a pound bass. But this also tells me that even though it's hot outside, today these fish are gonna be active. Also, being that the sun is beaten down, I'm targeting the shade. It doesn't matter if there's a tree there, if there's a rock ledge, if there's a rock pile. If it's shady, I'm gonna cast to it, because just like you and me, these bass love shade. Oh man, mwah, what a pleasure to catch her. Let's let her go. Now here's a little bit about what I'm talking about. There's a little bit of cloud cover now, so you can't quite see this, but this whole side of the river is just beaten by the sun. Over here is quite a bit more shady, so I'm gonna focus my efforts on the shady side of the river here, which is where both those fish that I just caught came from. Oh man, oh, this is pretty cool. So I felt this fish and I knew it wasn't a bass. It didn't pull really hard, but this is just a gorgeous fish. This is called a green sunfish, and they are every bit as aggressive as bass, but obviously a tiny fish. Fun to catch. Orange fins, blue flake down the side of her, and big enough to bite a bass jig. I mean, you can see that's what it was attacking. Tons of fun. Not what we're looking for, but tons of fun. Let's let her go. Now we're getting into part of the river that opens up a little bit. There's some more cover, some bigger cover. You see this big tree. This is kind of the part of the river, this next little stretch that I've really been waiting to see. And I'm gonna hit a lot of it with a jig. This is the same jig that I've been throwing. So we'll see if there aren't some summertime bass just kind of waiting down here for me. Oh yeah. Yeah, there he was. Once again, not a big guy. I'm a boat flipping. Boom, don't even need a net for him. Finesse jig, baby. Produced, little guy. Let's let him go. I chose to work a little different strategy. You think this fish wanted that swim bait? So we're playing the species game here today. This is a red breast sunfish, one of the more brilliant color fish that you can catch in New Jersey. You can see the entire side of it is this beautiful Carolina blue, and then you got the orange top, and of course that signature red belly, which gives it its name. This is a beautiful fish, and once again, not a largie or smallie, not what we're looking for, but fun to catch, especially on a drop shot. A little bit different strategy we're employing. All right, time to see if we can't catch something else. Feels like a better fish. Oh yeah, a little smallie. Oh man, gotta make sure I land this one. Oh man. Oh, well, I had her hooked good. When you're fishing a really hot day in July, this is what you can expect. Now, will I run into a bigger fish? Maybe, we'll see. But today, this is the 5th species of fish that I have caught, and I absolutely love that. I've thrown a lot of lures and I've caught a lot of different fish. This right here is a smallmouth bass, and I love catching smallmouth. Even this little 3/4 pounder put up a hell of a fight on my little medium light spinning rod using a drop shot. Just a beautiful fish. It's time to get her back in the water. Mwah. Oh my gosh, this is the best one. This is the best fish of the day right here. Oh man. Best fish of the day, easily. Just gotta land him. Just gotta land him. Yeah. Ooh. Oh man. It's gonna be a little bit of a challenge on this kayak. I'm not anchored. It's a little finesse jig. Ooh. Just gotta play this fish. Gotta play her. Oh man. Yeah. I think I'm gonna get. Oh. Oh man, hog baby, hog. Yes, yes, this is summertime bass fishing right here. Oh, this is an absolute river football. Oh man, just a thick fish with a mouth on her to match. Oh my gosh. Whew. I'm guessing this is a 3-pounder. I think I'm gonna get a weight on her. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful bass. My scale just died as I was weighing her, but I got her about 3 pounds, 10 ounces. I'm gonna call that 3 3/4 pounds. What a beautiful fish. Healthy, put up a fight, especially for a summertime largemouth. Oh my gosh. Mwah. The experience of catching this fish, man, I can't tell you. Let's get her back in the water. Well, per usual, I told my wife I'd be back an hour ago, and I'm just heading back now. But I'll tell you what, that last bass that I caught was worth every bit of the talking to that I'm gonna get. What I enjoyed so much about that fishing trip is that I caught 5 different species of fish, and I used different techniques to get the job done. First of all, that Finesse jig that I caught that really nice bass on is this very jig right here. It's quite a bit lighter than, say, a normal bass jig. This one's 3/8, this one's 3/16. You can also notice it has quite a bit smaller hook, and it has quite a bit smaller plastic that I've tipped it with. This is a full rage craw. This is a rage chunk, so it's a much shorter bait. So you can see the difference. The reason I was throwing a Finesse jig, a smaller presentation than a normal jig, is when it's really hot outside, the bass are expending a lot of energy just to stay cool. So if you throw a huge bait in front of them, something that they think they might have to really fight to get a meal out of, they may not go for it. But if there's a much smaller bait in front of them, something they don't have to work quite as hard for, they might be more inclined to smash it. The second bait that I want to talk about is a grub-tailed jig. This is an 1/8 ounce jig with a 1/0 hook, tipped with a white curly tail grub. Curly tail grubs are sold in every bait and tackle shop in America, and there's no way to fish them wrong. Fish them slow on the bottom, fish them fast closer to the top, and anything in between. These curly tail grubs will catch so many different types of species, not always the biggest fish, but if fishing is something that you want to start learning, the curly tail grub is a hard thing not to throw. The third technique that I want to talk about is the drop shot rig. This is one of the most popular techniques in modern bass fishing. You have a small weight at the bottom of your line, followed by 12 inches of leader, and then I use a 2/0 drop shot hook tipped with a plastic. The weight will sit on the bottom, keeping your bait suspended about 1 foot off, with a horizontal presentation that entice fish to boom, smash him. Now, drop shotting is kind of an in-depth technique, both tying it and fishing it. So what I've done is in the description, I've included links to 2 of my favorite drop shot educational videos. I hope you got something out of this video. So smash like. And until next time, tie on a couple different lures, try a couple different techniques, and then blah, chuck and wind, baby. Peace.